Hi everyone, welcome to Frame of Mind. I'm here today with Fabi. So Fabi, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? What year are you at SCAD?
Okay, my name is Fabiana Abreu, but all people call me Fabi Abreu, but my real name is Abreu. I'm from Venezuela, state of Lara, the city of Barquisimeto, and I'm junior. My major is fashion marketing.
Ooh, okay. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Okay. What made you choose SCAD, being from Venezuela? So I know it's kind of far.
Okay, to be honest, my dream city was New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like always thinking in Parsons and in other universities. But my mom always told me, Fabi, New York is a jungle for you. You
Yeah.
came from a small city. You
Mm-hmm.
should show someone something small.
Mm-hmm.
And the sister of my bestie told me, Fabi, I heard that SCAD is an art school kind of near to Gainesville because
Mm-hmm.
she was studying in Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
And you can research about it. And I start research about SCAD,
Mm-hmm.
and I came to SCAD day and I got in love with
You
SCAD.
liked it?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like SCAD is a really great like stepping stone too because it gives you that bigger city feel but also small at the same time.
Yes, because the buildings are in different
Yeah. And you still there's
places.
still it's still walkable, but it's kind of further apart, but it still
Yes.
gives you and it's still an art school too. And I feel like the FASM program's pretty well too.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been impressed with it so far.
I wish like the fashion program should be a little like bigger. Is I think it's
Yeah, I
small.
feel like it's growing though ever since the
Yes.
beauty. Yeah. So what are your main interests when it comes to fashion? Like what made you want to do fashion marketing?
Okay. For me, events. Like my
Yeah. Oh
dream
my
job
gosh.
is to be PR.
Oh my gosh.
And
I always said that if it was like my backup was I want to be an event planner, but I would always go over budget. Because I feel like somebody would be like, "Oh, we have to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, well you're not going to get this for that. Like we got to go crazy or something."
yes. And also my mom is always like surrounded about, she's kind of an event planner
Yeah.
of the company of my father, and she's always like making events.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like also with that you have to have a good visual eye too, which I'm sure that you do. So you're able to like take what somebody's giving you and kind of put it into a more visual perspective and everything. Yeah. Um so you said that your mom was an event planner and everything and that kind of made you want to go more into like PR and fashion and
Yes,
everything.
yes, my dream job is like to be the planner of the fashion shows for a brand or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Almost like what is it? It's like Kelly something, but she had that show on E where she ran the whole PR team. Do you remember that show at all?
No.
Oh, I have to bring it up. But basically, it was just like her running fashion shows and everything like that, and it was so funny.
And now I'm working in the fashion building as a senior assistant runner,
Ooh,
and
okay.
that's kind of a that job.
I feel like fashion design students, they're very not like FASM's more planned, but I feel like fashion design is a little bit more chaotic.
Yes, but they need
They need
us.
structure.
They need us.
They need structure. Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like with that. So how would you describe like your personal style whenever it comes to kind of I guess like getting dressed in the morning or like what kind of makes you most excited?
Okay, like my perfect description, I think that I'm like a bossy girl
Okay.
because I always use blazers and
Mhm.
like I'm always layering. Like
Yeah.
I'm now in a pleasure
Mhm.
clothes, but I always like put a sweater or
Yeah.
maybe something else to
Yeah.
my outfit.
I feel like with the weather here too, it'll get really cold in the morning and in the
Yes, and
afternoon it's like 85 degrees.
yes, it's really
And then
crazy.
you're like, I'll get a sunburn right now. No, I like that. And I feel like a blazer can really dress up or down anything.
Yes, and you can take out and you can be like
You can throw it
less
over a
formal.
dress or like
Exactly.
suiting pants and stuff. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your brand that you started back home and like what is that? What's the name and everything?
Okay, the name is Faz.
Mm-hmm.
Is my whole name Fabiana Abreu Suarez,
Mm-hmm.
and all starts in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom has a non-profit foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and she founded in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have more than 10 programs, and I was like trying to help my mom in a different way, like
Yeah.
what I love and what I
Mm-hmm.
like. And I started like making dresses to my friends with help with a seamstress.
Mm-hmm.
But I started like designing them, or maybe like a set, like a vest with a short, something
Yeah.
like that. And after that, I came here to the university, and I said to my mom, we have to do something easier
Yeah.
because it's hard to communicate
Mm-hmm.
my ideas from here
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
And we started like making uniform from the company of my dad.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
And then we started like telling the people, and now we are working for a lot of companies.
That's so nice.
Yes,
Yeah, I saw the whole uniform thing. I feel like that's like a great area to branch into.
yes,
That's make it like a lot. It's like kind of the same designs, but over like a more mass
yes.
market.
And also it's like customized. We
Yeah.
have to like be to please the
Mhm.
customer.
Mhm.
And also through the our designs and the uniforms, we help the foundation
Mhm.
that is called Fundación Flor de la Esperanza, which means flower of hope.
Mhm.
And the purpose of this is to help communities in needs in
Mhm.
my city.
Mhm.
And we are helping more than five, like six schools, like public
That's
schools.
so nice.
Yes,
Okay. So, is there public and private schools back home, or is it like
just public
just
schools.
public? Okay.
Exactly. We're
Okay.
helping them with nutrition, sports,
Yeah,
arts,
that's nice.
and also my seamsters are the mothers of these kids, and
Oh.
that's why we are helping. Like, we are giving them jobs opportunities.
Like I love the background story that you have. I think just like company background and just like really showing where you came from, like really says a lot about a company. Like whenever I find a new designer, I always kind of deep dive because I want to know. So I love that. So is there a reason that you specifically wanted to start it, or like what was your first sign that you're like, wait, this would be such a good idea? Did it just hit you, or have you always kind of
Because in
known?
COVID, like I was like a little
Oh
boring.
my gosh.
All people, I think so. And I started telling my mom, I think we could try. We could try. And it starts like being like a job.
Mhm.
And then my mom told me like we can't stop. That's good. That will be helpful too for the
Mhm.
foundation.
Mhm.
And we started because of the COVID, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. And so you said you had some influence from your mom. What do you think serves as basically like the center, like heart or mission of your brand?
Mm, like could I describe like in a word, or
Yeah, yeah.
I think solidarity.
Okay,
Solid
solidarity.
Yes.
Okay, so kind of like starting it by yourself, but I feel like there's also a lot of like cultural ties, family wise, and everything. Kind of bringing that back to you. So do you feel like it's like I guess kind of bring it back to the center of like where you came from and like your cultural influence and everything?
Yes, I think I always like connect with my culture
Yeah,
and my roots. I don't know, like in my
yeah,
in my days, like in normal days, I also connect with my culture.
yeah.
I don't know, because of the food, or
Hmm.
maybe it's songs, dance.
Yeah,
I don't. I always.
yeah. I remember like even from intro to textiles, like your
Yes.
sketches and everything were
Yes.
always
Yes, I'm really colorful,
yeah. I
and
love that.
yes, and I think I always take that from my
Yeah,
culture.
yeah. I feel like I hate buying plain clothes. I just it's so much more exciting to buy
Yeah.
something colorful. I feel
Yeah.
like I only wear black whenever I work out, and that's it.
Yeah.
So at Frame, it's basically all about self-expression. So do you feel like you relate more to dressing as like what makes you happier, or do you feel like you relate more to kind of like what's trending around you? Or
I think what makes me happy,
yeah,
because I like to be comfy sometimes, but I also like it depends of the day and my
yeah,
mood,
I get that.
and like how I'm feeling.
I get that.
Yes.
I feel like it could completely change your mood, like even just by brushing your hair or
Yes.
like something like
Makeup.
yeah, or as you said, like a blazer and everything. Like that
Yes.
can just make you feel so much more put together. So, frame also relates to as like your frame of mind. So, how do you feel? Um, and your attitude during a certain time. So do you think, as we just talked about, like your mood reflects the way you express yourself? So as you just said, you're like, yeah, it basically depends about my mood, kind
Yes,
of.
it depends on my mood, and also when I dress like really colorful, I
I
always feel better.
And I feel like it like makes you present yourself better too. Like you
Yes.
just feel in a better mood, you're just happier and everything. Yeah, I definitely get that. What do you think the biggest challenges are so far that you faced in kind of developing your company a little bit?
I think because sometimes you have a big ideas in your mind, like in your
Mhm.
head, and then when you're trying to tell them by phone,
Yeah,
it's not the same.
mhm.
And also like I know how to specific things that maybe it's hard to make it happen in
Mhm.
distance.
I feel like a lot of times I know you used to make voice text, but I'll do voice text because I feel like it's so much better as you're saying something, you're also thinking out loud
Yes.
at the same time. So it'll stem from one thing to another. So as I'm talking and I'm like, oh, wait, this and then that. And so I
Yes.
feel like it just conveys so much better. So sometimes I'll send voice messages like back to back to back. And then I feel so bad. And I'm like, sorry, I was just kind of rolling off of it a little bit. I was like, I didn't mean to ambush you or
Yes,
anything.
I feel the same. I prefer to talk, and also my first year at SCAD, I spent learning English in the
Hmm.
ESL program, and I think what helps me is my expressions in my face and also my voice,
Yeah.
because sometimes people can't don't understand me, but I know that with my face expressions,
Yeah.
they know what I wanna say.
Yeah. I feel like I couldn't imagine learning another language also while trying to learn
That could
too.
be a big challenge, like being in here,
Yeah.
because it was just it was learning a new language,
Hmm.
and also moving from home,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
a different country, different language. It was hard.
Yeah. Do you feel like even just like the day to day, your life is different here than it is back home? Or do you feel like,
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. And also I have to do advice. I have to say an advice in here, because my first year I was learning English in Norris Hall, and I was off campus,
Yeah.
and that is a mistake.
I feel like I get that because I transferred from a university before I came here. And so kind
Remember,
of like going in, it's like yes, not living in dorms the first year, even though they don't do roommate matching apparently. They just stick you wherever. I've heard horror stories, but I feel like you're not getting that same community as you
no.
are here.
And in the first year, I think you make your friends of your class,
Hmm. And then
and
yeah, and like sometimes if you're not in the best classes or if you're not in your major classes yet,
exactly.
it's
But
so hard.
yes,
I
it's
get
so
that.
hard.
I was in like a lot of my foundation classes and
Yes, and in English, it's like kind of a school. Like
yeah,
it's like a high school, because I was the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 to 1:30 as
that's
a school.
that's a really long time.
Yes,
And did you take class outside of that or did you just do the English?
not the English, just
Just
English
just
for a
English?
whole year, and also summer. Yes,
Like Monday through Thursday?
yes,
I would cry.
yes.
That
It
sounds
was hard.
that sounds horrible. Oh my gosh. I
Only in level 5 there are 6 levels, and in level 5 you can start with one foundation class,
okay.
like draw 100.
Okay. And so whenever you finally got that class, were you like,
I
let's
was like so
you're
happy
like,
to
let's go.
finally. And also in that quarter, in or spring, I volunteer for the fashion show that is
Oh
really soon. You
yeah.
should go.
Well, it's here in Savannah this year, right?
Yes,
Are
it's
you
in
are
yours.
you gonna help?
Yes, because I'm working for them.
Okay, okay. So do you feel like working as you said like a senior assistant for the fashion design students, do you think
Mhm.
that's also helping like assist you?
Yes, and also you can like meet a lot of celebrities in there, because
Ooh.
that's why I think that is a privilege that has fashion design, because they share a lot with guests,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they critique their works, and they
Mhm.
have more chance to
I think they're a lot more one-on-one
one-on-one,
than
exactly.
yeah, than I would say I think it was like Animation Fest or something. Then you have like these crazy illustrators that'll come. I never see, which I don't know if this is true or not, but I never really see if in those classes they go and also critique their work or if it's more just like they go and talk and then
Exactly.
leave.
Yes, I think fashion design has
Yeah.
that is incredible for them.
Yeah, I remember I took fashion history last quarter, and then it was an 8 a.m. and I had Herrera. She's British. I'm talking about. She's red
Mhm.
hair. She's very cheeky. She's really funny.
Mhm.
But they were setting up for Stan Smith whenever he was coming in and stuff like that. And they were like sending out all the
Ooh,
snacks and stuff.
that's
And
cool.
I saw him and I was like, I forget that he's older until I saw him. I don't know why I was thinking
Yes, I
somebody.
feel this. I was thinking like Stan Smith as a shoe, not as a person. He
Yeah.
told that people. I went to
To the top.
the talk,
Yeah.
and it's all people. Like people think that I'm a shoe
Yeah.
pair of shoes. I'm not. Yes, I will find it.
um, but
Sneaker design has a lot of
oh my
opportunities
gosh,
too.
yeah. There's this one girl in one of my classes that she's minoring in sneaker design, which I think it's great for her, but I couldn't imagine doing that.
I used to help Professor Langnam, that is the chair,
Okay.
and it has a lot of
Hmm.
like good contacts.
Yeah, she was saying because she's a FASM major, but her minor is in sneaker design, and she was saying it's crazy going from like FASM professors who are very organized, like there's deadlines, and then in sneaker design, she's like some of your stuff won't be graded till weeks later. Or it's like she's like, I feel so ahead of all my classmates, but it's just because she's like working on a regular schedule and like some of her classmates are just waiting, I guess.
Yeah.
But I feel like like how a lot of like fashion design students are sometimes. It's just like until like inspiration hits them or something, and they'll like grind for 4 days and then they'll be done, kind of the same way. But yeah, so I feel like, what do you hope to do once you graduate? Are you think you're gonna move back home or
Okay, like I I don't know yet my plans, but my
like your dreams?
exactly
Yeah.
my dreams is to spend a few more years in here in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm resident, and I want to be a citizen.
Yeah,
I'm working on that, and
that's
yes,
pretty hard too, right? Isn't there a lot of
yes, it's hard, but I have 14 years of
okay?
my life being resident, and I
Yeah.
have to spend 5 years
Okay.
living in
Yeah.
United States,
Yeah.
and I complete that
Okay.
next year.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I think maybe to spend a few more years in here
Yeah.
working in a good company. I
Yeah.
hope so.
Do you have any places that you want to live? Do you want to go to New York?
Yes, I want to go to New York just
I
to
feel
try,
like
maybe for a next summer or something like that, to
yeah,
try if I like it, and because it's a lot, I think so.
it's a lot. I feel like but I feel like once you did the big jump from Venezuela to here,
Yes,
like, and then after spending that first year in the English building, like nothing can be worse than that. Even if you're in New York
yes,
and you're at the worst department or
it's true. It's
something,
true.
I feel like nothing. And I feel like if you're going to go to New York, you have to do it while you're young too, before you get not like expectations, but before you get really upset with everything.
Yes, the only thing that I'm scared about is like the metro and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
all of that is
I
kind
feel
of
like once you figure it out, you'll be fine,
yes,
and then it won't be so intimidating. But I do feel like the people are nicer here, though. But there's obviously more opportunity up there. I feel like
yes.
everybody wants to go to New York, and I'm like, I don't want to
You don't
at
want
all.
to.
No, at all. I'm like, you know what? That's great for y'all. And I was like, I think I'm gonna stay around here or like somewhere in the South. I was like, that just sounds so much better to me. But I do feel like New York has a lot more opportunities, especially for fashion and everything.
Yes, and also I love Europe. Like I
Oh
think
yeah. I'm always so jealous of the proximity of like how close countries are in Europe and everything. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Because
yes,
here I saw a TikTok that was like this one guy was explaining how I literally flew across the United States and they couldn't believe that I've only been to like a couple of states or something. But then he looked at the proximity in Europe and it was like he
yes,
literally went from like the northernmost coast to like the southernmost in Europe and he's like that was my flight back home.
yes,
Like because everything's so close together. So I feel like there's a lot more obviously culture and everything in Europe too that you can experience.
yes, and also they have a lot of trains that you
Yeah,
can go like
hop
fast.
on, yeah, and it's not expensive at all.
No, I'm planning. I have accepted to got the acceptation for Lacoste this fall.
Are you gonna go?
Yes,
That'll be so fun. Are you? I keep seeing the thing about like London or whatever. I keep getting emails about that. I know
cool.
I had a friend that did abroad in London, and she really liked it because they still spoke English, so it was nice. But I feel like in Lacoste that'll be really fun. I feel like I've had a bunch of other friends that have like gone and studied there, and then also the group that you're there with. I feel like you become really close with too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really cool because you're in that really, really, really small
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Do you know what classes you're taking there, going to, or?
Yes, FASM 400,
Mm-hmm.
FASM 419,
Yeah, the current trends.
and then art of province, like a
Okay,
art
like the
history
one
of
that's from
it's
there.
from Lacoste.
That'll be fun to do that there. I feel like
Yes.
all my art histories are like, nah, that'll be fun to like do it more in depth. Um, but yeah, I feel like just going back to kind of frame a little bit. So we are about like self-expression and trends and kind of like the way you express yourself. Do you have any advice for anyone that is kind of, I don't know, I would say like intimidated about if they like want to wear something, or like, and they're kind of intimidated about it, or if they like, what do you think, I guess, like, what do you think, do you have any advice for someone about the way that they, is a great way to like express themselves whenever it comes? Do you think like you express yourself through your company, or like through sketching or something like that? Like, do you think different outlooks are important?
Mm,
This a little bit,
this
like,
question,
yeah, um like basically, what do you have any advice for anybody that kind of wants to get into fashion a little bit?
I think you don't have to be so fashionable to
Yeah,
be in the
I love
fashion
that. I
industry.
feel like that's such like, sometimes I feel like in class people are like so trendy and so
Yes,
fashionable.
and you don't have to.
You don't have to do that. You can just like wear whatever you feel comfortable with, or
Exactly. And
yeah.
also for me I prefer like to be elegant than
Mhm.
to be like in the trends, and
Mhm.
I'm more like what I really want to wear. Like I'm not I don't pay so much attention to trends, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I like a lot of them, but not
Mhm.
all. And my first year in here I was like so like worried about like I have to dress really formal to my classes
Oh
because
my
I'm in the
gosh.
fashion building, and you don't have to. Like
No.
you just need to be you.
Literally. And then also, these classes are 2.5 hours long. You're sitting down for a really long time. And
Yes.
then some of them you're like painting or you're sketching. And I'm like, I'm not going to wear my nice clothes to class whenever we're like cutting stuff up and doing
Yes,
markers.
I feel the same. And also I like the designers that I from my country,
Mm-hmm.
like the the ones that I love, they are not so fashionable. They are
Yeah.
just
I,
like good artists, like good
yeah.
creative.
I feel like they're also really great at collaboration with like people from their country. Also, is what I see whenever I think of people. What is it? Fashion designer like Ola Johnson. She like networks a lot with people in another country, and like Farm Rio too. Like
Yes.
super like colorful and prints, and they take a lot of inspiration from that, and like a lot of like local artists they work with, which I really like. So I feel
Yes.
like it's important to kind of be centered. Well, after that last advice, thank you so much. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Okay, thank you.